Hi everyone, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscription. I really appreciate it. This is the daily forecast. It is for all signs. It is a broad spectrum reading, so I do speak in broad terms. You need to figure out if and where it fits in your life, if at all. If it doesn't fit, that's okay. It doesn't mean anything's broken or wrong. You just might be working on something different at this time. It's originally created for Tuesday, the 23rd of May, but if you're seeing it on a different date and it still makes sense to your situation or your life, by all means utilize the reading. I believe that the readings can be timeless and that they can find us when we need them rather than when they were originally created for. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my daily videos. In there is just some housekeeping rules, things I want you to think about when utilizing my channel, what decks I'm working with in the video, how to contact me on social media. Follow me on Instagram and my Facebook business page, and you can reach out to those places if you're interested in a personal private reading. Know that I will never reach out to you to sell you a reading. You would always have to initiate that conversation. If somebody tries to reach out to you and say that they're me and try and sell you a reading, it's not me. And also simple ways to support the channel. You can do that by hitting the thumbs up button if you enjoy the content. Share the video out. Leave me a question or comment on the video. I do read them all. And subscribe and hit that notification bell. I do put up daily content, so you would want to know, you hit the notification bell if you want to know when a new video goes up. The other thing is that I refer back to the Sunday underpinning reading a lot. So two cards here that I'm talking about that aren't here, I'm usually referring back to that video. That populates in the lower left-hand corner at the end of this reading. So you can check that out if you want to. All right, let's see what the cards and Spirit want us to know for the 23rd of May. So our first card out is Temperance. Interesting. We had two angels in yesterday's reading. And now we have this giant angel here. Lots of angel energy, guys. We had the Lovers and Judgment in the clarifiers yesterday. So with Temperance, it's associated, it is major arcana, but it's a quiet energy. It's an energy of balance. It's an energy of pausing. It's an energy of kind of feeling what we feel and then grounding those feelings to make them sort of real and more in balance with what's going on in the world around us, right? The Temperance card is associated with the sign of Sagittarius, which is a mutable sign. What is the moon in? The moon is void of course, it looks like. So this would be about kind of, in my feeling, maintaining our space, maintaining what we know to be true, not necessarily pushing our ideals on anyone else or what we need necessarily, but honoring what we need by sitting in the present moment, right? By remaining patient, by letting the situation unfold. The symbology of the angel could mean, especially since we saw two angels yesterday, it could mean inviting the angels into our lives to sort of work with us, to help us through solving a situation. I don't necessarily know that this is a card of like complete action. The action that comes with Temperance is that one of balance, one of patience, one of, maybe waiting to see how things roll out versus trying to push or pull or manifest something really hard. Does that make sense? This is about coming into alignment with the present moment and accepting everything as it is, and then just kind of balancing ourselves within the situation so that we can find our own inner peace, our own inner angel, connecting with our spirit guides and allowing their guidance to sort of provide for us the tranquility that this card represents. Understanding that everything that we're going through serves a purpose, even if it's stuff that feels challenging, right? Temperance reminds us to kind of accept the challenge and come into alignment with it rather than resist it or try and change it, right? Don't fight against it. Just sort of stand there and understand how you feel, examining sort of where things are at and how we feel about those things, and then kind of finding balance within whatever that answer is for us. Let's go to the Untamed elemental. Cloud. Where do the angels live? In the sky, in heaven, in the clouds. So cloud to me, before I even read it, I feel like there's a situation outside of ourselves that may be confusing. That's sort of the feeling that I'm getting from cloud, is sometimes we can't see through the clouds, right? They kind of fog or mask what's going on around us. And the reason why I say that also is because temperance is here. And so temperance is asking us to stand still in the moment and allow things to kind of dissipate or clear before we make any decisions about movement forward. And that's sort of where I feel cloud is kind of masking maybe a decision or a path that we can't quite see yet. Temperance will lead us to that path, but it requires patience and time. So listening to our own internal wisdom, our higher self's wisdom, and sort of staying in that present moment is going to be key before making any decisions about which direction to move forward towards. And I feel like cloud is there almost not only obscuring our view, but maybe protecting us in a certain way. Like maybe there's something we're not supposed to see just yet, or a path we're not supposed to take just yet, a decision that we might need to mull over and think about and find what really feels the most correct and in balance with us before moving forward. Let me read cloud to you. So cloud is ritual. Cloud arises when liquid droplets transform into crystals suspended in time. He is a kindred of many worlds. His vapor sings with celestial mobility, angels, guys, networking our moods with higher thought. He clarifies the scope of life's unpredictability with foils of wisps, chains of ripples, and scrolls of futures. He is broadcasting Earth's emotional intelligence to the cosmos and precipitating galactic wisdom upon the planet. He is a two-way mirror with the power to influence worlds. Cloud invites you to create magic through ritual. You can quickly usher in the change you desire by designing daily or monthly ceremonies that invoke the visions you hold for life. Cloud reminds you that the world of spirit and the physical realm are reflections of one another. By crafting meaningful ritual, you join both together to bring your vision alive. Your intentions gather like water droplets, and you are empowered to shower life-giving rain upon beautiful new realities. The balanced version is conscious creation. The imbalanced version is perceptions of fixed realities that limit potential. And to bring into balance, you would perform a simple ritual invoking the full participation of your sovereign essential self. So I think that this idea of cloud being connected to both worlds, and we're seeing this angel of temperance, it's asking us to connect to the spiritual world, whether it's our own higher self or our spirit guides or the angels that are around us, reminding us that there's something more ephemeral out there that's assisting us during this time through whatever situations we may be dealing with. I still get this feeling that temperance is about figuring out what we want. Like in clouds reading, it's about forming those droplets to feed our desires or our creations, our manifestations. Temperance asks us to get into the present moment to understand what it is we need and we want versus, making quick, hasty decisions and deciding this is what I want, so I'm going to go this direction. It's like, wait a moment. Really feel your way through it. Think about it. Is this what you want? Because to me, cloud is also like spirit coming in and saying, we will start to form the reality of your thought forms, but get really clear on and in balance with your thoughts and what you're thinking so that you can manifest whatever's of the highest good for you and all other parties involved. So that sort of feels like the goal to me with this temperance card here. Let's look at the clarifiers. We have the Nine of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Three of Cups. So I think what this is saying is there is a higher spiritual wisdom that we have within us, right? That would be the Hierophant, and accessing that through temperance is really key. The Nine of Wands indicates, working smarter, not harder, having been through battle, having maybe our spirit has been broken in situations past. And instead of going back to those past situations, being aware of them and understanding them, but not necessarily allowing them to lead. I think that there's a strength with temperance and the Hierophant that speaks to standing in your true spiritual understanding of what it is that you want and how to go about creating it. Cloud assists us in creating that, and it brings us to this idea of the joy of the Three of Cups, right? The harmony of the Three of Cups. Yesterday we saw the Two of Cups, and underpinning this is the Ace of Cups, which is like this from the Sunday reading, which is this emotional renewal that we're experiencing of realizing maybe this is more in alignment with how I feel and what I want and what I desire. The Nine of Wands is, I feel like it's here to educate us or to help us, to remind us not to stay stuck in the past, but to use the past as a learning, maybe a learning lesson or as an experience that indicates to us what we don't want to repeat, right? The Hierophant is wise enough and smart enough to be able to not repeat that. He represents like higher spiritual wisdom at a very profound level, and he's very stable. So grounding in this wisdom, this spiritual wisdom that's coming from within, this renewal of the Ace of Cups and our emotions that are bubbling forth, lead us ideally towards this idea of celebration, communion, love with others in the Three of Cups. It's out there for us if we believe it is so, but if we're too busy concentrating on what went wrong in the past or how we were harmed in the past, we could end up potentially repeating that if we're not in balance or if we're not using the energy of temperance right now. If we're too busy looking at the past, we're not really in the present creating for the future. And I feel like these cards are telling us, get into the present, get into the feelings, feel it and understand what it is that you want, and then begin to like sort of, I don't know if take action is the right word, but the thoughts that we create, the feelings that we feel, will begin to like spiritually manifest them. Make sure we're coming from a higher space of spiritual awareness when we're doing this, and then watch those situations become realities in our life, is my feeling. Let me get to the grounding stone. All right. Grounding stone for the day is prosperity. So maintaining and grounding in whatever we think is going to bring us the most prosperity and happiness is really going to be key today. I love that he matches the red robe. There's like 3 red robes here, 1, 2, 3, and then prosperity, that color kind of matches it, sort of like the orange up in the corner of cloud. They're all color coordinating today. Manifesting or grounding in what feels right to us in the present moment will lead us to this prosperity, right? Understanding that this prosperity exists and that we can be prosperous if we take time and be patient and allow our experiences from the past to indicate what we want to create for the future, making sure that we're not stuck in the past, recreating those same events, but actually creating something from a higher spiritual knowledge will bring about the prosperity and the joy that we see in the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups is about prosperity, love, enjoying those that we love, harmony, community, all of that. So if that's what we're seeking, the way to go about creating it is not only to be patient and attentive to the present moment, but also to ground in the possibility of prosperous new changes that are available to us, even if we didn't think that they were a day or two prior or a week or two prior, right? We have to believe that the prosperity exists before we can actually create it. And so we may need to slow down, take an inventory, so to speak, and then start to, from a place of spiritual wisdom, our own internal spiritual wisdom, create the prosperity that we desire within the situations that we're working in. I hope that makes sense, you guys. That is your reading. If you enjoyed it, please hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel, hitting the notification bell. Leave me a question or comment, and share the video out. I'll see you guys tomorrow. This should be a beautiful day also. All right, take care and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.